I was convinced that after teaching in Michigan for about 13 years, that the Lord was calling me to return to Asia, where my roots are, so to speak. And I felt that that calling was not only serve amongst like-minded faculty here in the Singapore Bible College, but also to minister to people here in Singapore and beyond. Singapore being a hub of so many different nationalities and cultures, people look to Singapore Bible College as a leader in not only church music, but also intercultural communication. So I felt this was a nexus of many different possibilities. Back in Calvin University, I was handling, the choirs and teaching, conducting, and choral music. But I was one among so many hundreds and thousands of, shall we say, small fish in a very, very big ocean. And I felt that even if I was to be taken out of that ecosystem, the ecosystem would survive without me. And I felt that this was an opportunity to grow the church music program with very dynamic faculty. And for our viewers, we all know how the churches struggle in Southeast Asia, but in their struggle, they also bloom where they are planted, in spite of oppression, in spite of difficulty, of being marginalized in societies that are predominantly non-Christian. So that was a challenge that was very attractive to me. I felt that the calling to, forego all the accoutrements of living in the United States was rather unique. People would definitely say, why are you going to a region where you would be earning much less than what you were earning here in the United States? I said, it's not really so much, the money, but it's really feeling that you are there in the center of God's will, doing God's agenda for the world. In spite of, simplicity, and I really love simplicity, I feel that there's a lot of complexity in dealing with the lives, special complexity in dealing with the lives and situations here in Southeast Asia. And I felt that being a member of that team allowed me the opportunity to plant seeds. And in so doing, that what God was planting here might also be planted in my heart, so that I would grow with the context and with the culture. And thereby we would cross-pollinate each other, so that I may be of service, even as I'm now adjuncting as faculty, to other churches in the region. Here, as an adjunct faculty, I do quite a lot of things. I still work with my courses that are given to me, so I meet with students one-on-one in conducting studio classes, in conducting classes that involve advanced choral conducting techniques, score study and interpretation. This semester I'm assigned that. And of course the SBC chorale, which I have met in preparation for the hymn fest that is going to take place tonight and tomorrow night. Behind the scenes, because people see me more often here as being on the limelight, on the stage, there's a lot of work involved. And I'm very blessed and fortunate that I have a team of not just faculty who pinch hit for me every now and then, but also to pitch in when it comes to behind the scenes duties such as lifting those heavy risers on stage, putting the chairs on stage, coordinating with the sound technicians in the worship hall, the lighting, making the script. Lots of behind the scenes work. Somebody said, the performance is like the tip of the iceberg. People see just the tip on top, but underneath there's this whole big, large edifice or structure that is not seen by the audience. So, we love to do it. We have sleepless nights mulling over what needs to be done, but in the end, it's all worth it because we see so many lives touched and so many people coming to us with their notes and words of appreciation. The tears, especially, when people come to us in tears, it feels like an affirmation of what we do for the churches and for God. Touching people's lives is a very beautiful thing for musicians and for artists alike. There's not much recompense for all that what we do, but knowing that we are part of the whole infrastructure of God's witness here on earth is a beautiful thing. I'd like for our students to carry the fire, to remain aflame for Jesus Christ wherever they may be, because the world now is in terrible darkness. And beyond those beautiful metaphorical statements, I think students have to be aware of the fact that wherever they may be, however they may be aware of their witness, that flame carries through in word, in thought, in action, in deed, in undeed. So to be both a flame and to tend to that flame, because it's a flame that the world needs. To see, even in your smile, in the way you look at another human being, the way you listen, the little things, the spirituality of who you are, beyond the spoken word, beyond the beautiful message that you deliver on the pulpit, is a life that needs to shine, that needs to cause the world to reflect, to pause, to be aware, to think that I impact another human being, and that what I do here on planet Earth is something that counts for eternity. I think also that beyond SBC, as we move on in this world, I think that our steps need to be deliberate and thoughtful. That Micah verse, that we may love mercy, live justly, and walk humbly all the days of our life. And in so doing, we affect the nations that we are in. Nations that may not be entirely friendly or encouraging to our faith. And I wish to speak this to our students and alumni, that I really do hope that you can see SBC to be that flame or that wind that blows that flame for you. Things that you learned here, the life that you experienced here, the spirituality, the friendship, the community, carry them with you, even as faculty like me. Sooner or later, the body will say, enough, Joel, I think it's time to retire. And maybe, grades out there in the field. But I think those memories will linger on and will cause you to live your life the SBC way. In School of Church Music, to live your life as excellent and, shall we say, servile or servant leaders who are adaptable in any situation, to be men and women for all seasons and for all situations, to be men and women for others, to be lives that will bless and not impress, to be God's light and salt of the earth.